it's probably the most recognisable restaurant in the country. The restaurant, the reputation, the experience customers get, it's all encapsulating and it's bigger than all of us. I'm Alex Prichard from Icebergs Dining Room and Bar in Bondi. I was meant to be moving to Paris to work at a restaurant called Restaurants. And Monty just took over running Icebergs, and I messaged him and just said, hey mate, look, I've got 3 months free before I move to Paris. Do you want me to come and help you out over your first summer? 9 years later, I'm still here. It was the longest 3 months of my life. The brief has always been the same. The brief's always been flavours Morris's mother would recognise, but food she'd never cook, which is a pretty grounding brief, but at the same time gives you a whole lot of freedom. The menu now is an interpretation of Italian seaside dining, but in Australia. So it's simple flavours, delicious produce. You want to be able to get up, go out afterwards, feel nourished. The menu at Icebergs changes pretty frequently, but it's never a forced change. If a dish is going on, it's because it's better than the last one, and that's how we constantly progress. 2 dishes at the moment that I think are phenomenal and speak beautifully towards Icebergs is our tartare that's mixed tableside. It uses Westholme Wagyu, and a particular cut that we use being the rump cap. And you get a great deal of that beautiful, rich beef flavour coming through the cap. It's the best thing to eat raw and diced. The waiter comes over to your table with it on a trolley and mixes it to your liking at the table, and then silver serves it for you. So it's, I guess, your personal experience of a dish at Icebergs catered specifically for you. Another dish that's become synonymous with Icebergs since reopening has been the Westholme Wagyu bavette. We serve that with a vermouth sauce, some tardivo and some horseradish. You get a lot of that sweetness and spice from the vermouth, delicious bitter crisp leaves from the tardivo, bit of heat from the horseradish, and it all blends beautifully with that rich Wagyu fat. If you have incredible produce to start with, you don't need to screw with it too much. The flavour of good quality raw beef is second to none. It's similar to eating an oyster for the first time. I think until you've eaten at least a dozen oysters, you hate every single one of them. Then you can start to understand the nuances and the differences in flavour and texture and different preparations of it. That's when you can actually really start to enjoy it, embrace it, and then eventually start playing around with it for yourself. Australian Wagyu is the best in the world in my opinion. The Westholme Wagyu as well, I think it has an incredible flavour to it. It's not just about melting fat, there's the flavour of the actual beef. You can almost taste the landscape that the beef was raised in. What I love about what I do is that it's ever changing. You never come into work and there's a day that is completely the same as another. It's never monotonous, there's always something to learn, there's always a change, there's always an innovation. And with all that, it's incredibly easy to constantly be original. There's no copying or resting on your laurels, you're constantly learning and evolving with products. It's pretty tough to say what the future of our restaurant looks like because I honestly feel like Icebergs will just outlive us all.